Hi, I'm Angelo Valentine, and my partner, Jerusha Perumal. And as you can see, the slide encompasses everything that we have been taught, the modules of the creating thinking environments, community building, flawless consulting. So we went through a range of all those processes. And I was blessed to have hosted PFP on 2 occasions at our school, at Saambou. The launch was one of it, and then another a COP meeting. And what inspired me was when Nadia came to the school, Mr. Moore came to the school, and asked whether I want to be partnered in this Partners of Possibility program. And she told me I can apply so long she doesn't have a partner yet, because a partner somehow has withdrawn. But she said, don't worry about it. I've got someone in mind, and I'm certain someone will partner with you. And that is how I landed up with Jerusha. And a very vibrant lady at first meeting, very quiet, unassuming, quiet, but when we start talking, you can hear the passion that she has for her. It was also very, I don't know what's going to happen at the school. What must I come and do here? How can I, be of assistance? And when we got together in our meetings, then she would ask, keep me on my toes. How far are you with the task that Nadia has set us? What have you done? What are the action plans? We have rehearsed our action plans so many times because our ideals are very high. And then Nadia used to come and say, no guys, man, I think you're overthinking things, think things. Keep it simple. And then we went back to the drawing board. There are many challenges. The good things, as you can see by the slides, Jerusha helped with so many things in terms of fundraising. She was there at our Women's Day event. The end of year class party, she also, and the company donated hamburgers, chicken burgers. She also had a hamper for our sports day where she was present as well, brought a hamper that we could raffle. That generated 3,800 Rand. For us, it's a lot of money. We're a no-fee school, but 3,800 was a great help. She came to school. She couldn't make the hike. We had a community builder. We went on a hike. So there were so many other things, and our program was very, very, very packed. I only had like 19 to 20 slides. And we did things a bit differently. And we thought, no, man, let's just put more slides in and create a video instead to show off, or showcase rather, all the things that we have learned through the Partners of Possibility. So what I've learned from the program is to be more proactive. It's challenging sometimes. You become a bit withdrawn. You're bogged down with issues. And then Jerusha would contact me and just fill in our things at school. There were times we couldn't even meet. We would make up a meeting. And then the same day when we're supposed to happen, then Jerusha would say, oh my word, I'm so sorry, I forgot about the meeting. I was busy with something else. And then we have to reschedule and, another meeting. And that's how it went. Not because we didn't want to get together. It's just on her part and on my part, we could never just schedule a meeting to get things done. And the anecdote is that the one meeting with the SMT, it was on Guy Fawkes Day. And we were still chatting, we had a very nice conversation, and suddenly there was ructions outside, and I had to jump up, and she's like, where are you going to? So I had to get people out of the school grounds that were trying to smear, you know, the culture of Guy Fawkes, where they have the little, they call it the klappertjies, and then they smear one another with shoe polish and the like. And I had to get people out of the school ground, and Jerusha was like, oh my word. but she enjoyed, it was fun, but those are the kind of challenges that we do face. And by the way, Guy Fawkes is next week, Wednesday again, so you're much welcome to come and pop in again and see what's next. So thank you very much, colleagues, for listening to me. Over to Jerusha.
The beginning of it, it's looking at time to think, and I was already familiar with the principle, but it wasn't something that I was actually practicing in my life. And I think that created a really strong foundation for both Angelo and I, and he's already alluded to that. A lot of our partnership was being there for each other and bouncing ideas off each other. And what I've learned, I'm not sticking to my program here now, but what I've learned through this process is how similar our businesses are. So my business and the school, and the challenges that are faced by Angelo's employees are the same challenges that my employees are facing with. And the challenges that those families are experiencing and the violence that those families are exposed to are the same violence that my employees' families are exposed to. So it was very eye-opening for me in that sense. And so for those of you who don't know me, I have a background in industrial psychology, so I'm just going to tap into that a little bit, and that is also the foundation that I used for the partnership. But I'm going to tell you about a concept called psychic numbing. Has anybody heard of this concept? Okay, so essentially this concept of psychic numbing is that if I tell you that a bus crashed into a taxi and multiple people have been injured, you will be able to empathize with that, but your brain actually blocks off that so that you are able to cope and process with that information. But if I tell you that a specific individual was in a car accident and has passed on, you're able to empathize with that more and sympathize with that situation more because it is an individual. It's a person, it's a one. And so what my greatest value from this experience has been that, I mean, we're all familiar with the challenges that we're facing in this country and the violence and the obstacles that we're trying to build, and there are certain members of our society that are trying to bring things down. But being in this partnership and being involved with Angelo has shown me the one. I got to experience the one school, the one community, the one child, the one parent. And as speakers before have alluded to, you know, you hear on the news that this has happened and violence has happened, but when you're sitting across a table and a principal is looking you in the eye and telling you about their experience about being held hostage, that hits you. That's not something you read. That's not a headline. That's a person. And so I think that that's been the greatest thing for me personally with this whole experience. But now, speaking about my amazing partner, who has already told you my really funny story, but I come from KZN, so I'm not familiar with this type of thing. And so when I met Angelo at the beginning of the partnership, he had been an acting principal for 5 years. So he had been in the role and performing the role, but was not getting the recognition or the pay for it. And with that, also, his hands were tied. He had such a passion for his school, but there were things that he couldn't do because he wasn't in the title of a principal. And over our partnership, I have seen Angelo grow. I have seen him put into place the stuff that he's learned through the partnership and through the programs and the training and from the other principals. But also I've seen him grow in confidence in his own position as a principal. And so the reason I was going to bring the Guy Fawkes thing is because I come from KZN, right? So I don't know this whole thing at all. Foreign concept. We don't do that there at all. We do fireworks like normal people. So I had never firstly even heard about what all of this is. And so we are sitting, we're having a meeting. I've just met the SMT for the first time. They're getting to know me. We're letting them know about the program. And there's this like screaming. But at first, I'm not even sure if I registered that it was happening. And Angelo left the room. And then the next thing, the teachers left the room. I was like, well, I'm not staying here by myself. So here's me going outside and going to check it out. And that is when I saw the leadership that I have since seen in Angelo. I can't even tell you. He just said one word to them and pointed his finger, and those kids ran away. And there was like, it was like hordes of kids. I'm not like, it wasn't like a bunch of them. There was a crowd, like a mob. And Angelo just chased them away, and it was incredible to see the influence and power that he had. Those kids knew that he was someone to be respected, and he definitely is. And he is a pillar in that community, and he is a pillar to his team. So for me, besides being involved in sports days and Omar days and awards days, it was a great experience to be a part of the school. But for me, it was a great experience to get to know Angelo, to get to be that sounding board, that time to think for him, and to help him with relationship management with his team, and from that perspective. So I've really enjoyed being a part of this, and I would like to thank Astron for the opportunity and for PFP for bringing us all together. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.